Hello, cult members. Welcome to the Pop Culture Cult. I'm Sean.
I'm Janice.
Take two. And welcome to our spoiler discussion review reaction of Kenobi's episode 1 and 2. A little bit of backstory from us. We are currently in Anaheim in the shadow of the Anaheim Convention Center for Star Wars Celebration. We did not watch this last night because we were busy dancing with the 501st.
It was a good time.
It was a very good time. So we got to it this morning. We just watched both episodes with our housemates for the week, and like we said, it's gonna be spoilery, but not very long. But just some quick thoughts of what we had so far. Holy shit balls!
There's our one.
All right, thanks for coming, and click subscribe and that bell for notifications.
Yep.
Initial thoughts.
There's so much.
10 to 15 minutes.
I know. So in typical Star Wars, Disney, Marvel style, I think almost everything that we saw in the trailers happened in those first two episodes.
Yeah.
But like, I'm sure you're going to talk about this, but like you said, they were like, look, here's Anakin, here's Luke, little Luke on his pretend speeder bike, and and Uncle Owen, and we're on Tatooine. Oh, by the way, this is all about Leia.
It's all about Leia. They gave us Luke to hide Leia. It's the first thing I said when they did it in the first episode. And all the theories we had of there being a Jedi in Tatooine, that's why the Inquisitor was there, and the Inquisitors and the Grand Inquisitor and all of them being on Tatooine, and Obi-Wan having to run to Dayu to get him off his scent was wrong. Was completely wrong, and I'm so happy.
Well, they were there.
They were there for a Jedi, but not for Kenobi.
Well, two of them were there for a different Jedi, and the third sister was there.
Reva
Kenobi.
is definitely on a Kenobi.
A separate mission
on her own. I have about 45 minutes worth of thoughts about her, but
I don't like her.
I
like her. I love, but I don't like her. I want to punch her in the face.
Part of what I want to talk about is that performance is so good in the first two episodes that you hate her.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what you need from somebody like this who is going after a obnoxiously over the top beloved character.
Yeah.
You need to have somebody who absolutely hates him in that universe. And we're going to get why she does.
Right.
Right.
But she's like, I feel like this is a step beyond for
this is personal.
Star Wars as far as like, Darth Vader, the big bad for most of the Skywalker saga. You don't like him. You get that he's a bad guy, but he force chokes people, and that's about this.
Right.
This person is very evil.
Cutting hands off of innocents and threatening Owen. As soon as you threaten Owen, you're a bad guy. I'm sorry, that's just how it is.
Uncle Owen.
Okay. I'm trying to collect my thoughts in a cohesive little ball, and that's not going to work. So my rambling right now is this is not the direction I thought this show was going to go, and I love it even more than what I thought, or at least the discussion was around what the show was going to be. I think Deborah Chow and Kathleen Kennedy, I know I said the magic words, and what they're specifically doing with this show is such a breath of fresh air for Star Wars for me. Deborah Chow said this is very much a Joker, Logan character study of Kenobi after what happened of Order 66, which I have to talk about at some point in time. And seeing Ewan McGregor play this broken man in the first two episodes he's such a good actor, and that's That's it. That's the whole show for me. I don't need any lightsaber battles. I don't need space battles. I don't need. Oh, it's coming. It's gonna come. But I don't need any of that. Just give me Ewan trying to figure out how not to be broken anymore. And
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm here for all of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you never get that, right? You go from him killing, essentially, he in his mind he killed his Padawan, the one that his master told him to protect,
Yeah.
to an old guy in a cave and some hermit,
Yeah.
and you're like, but there's all this stuff in between that we
Yeah.
would like to.
A lot of people for a long time have been wanting this story told, and it was going to be a movie, and then they changed, and then Disney Plus came along. They decided to do a longer format, and then they had script rewrites and stuff, and so we are being rewarded for that patience.
Yeah.
That Kenobi tries to teach Anakin that doesn't stick. But yeah, it just that concept of what they've given us so far in the first 2 episodes is exactly what I wanted. It's exactly what I wanted.
The little girl who plays Leia and how they're having her play Leia is amazing.
It's pitch perfect. It's pitch perfect.
She's just this sassy little force sensitive girl,
Yeah,
who is gonna go do her own thing, and and Obi-Wan even says at one point, "How old are you?" Which he knows full well how old she is, because she's like, "I'm 10." And he's like, "Well, you don't act like it."
Thank you. Which is again pitch perfect for Leia and Carrie Fisher. I want to talk about that for like a hot second before we kind of get into a couple little things and Order 66. Um, like I said earlier, they gave us Luke in the trailer to hide Leia, and when they kind of started pushing the story towards it's Leia who's kidnapped and Bail and Brea can contact Kenobi to go get her. I was floored that was hidden from all of us.
Yeah.
I cannot stress how much I love that part that they did a really good job of hiding Grogu, hiding
Yeah.
a lot of hiding
Yeah.
Luke. Like I really love that they're doing this. They're giving us some things that we know are coming. They gave us Hayden. Oh, here's Luke in the trailer. But hiding in plain sight because it makes sense that would be why Ben would leave Luke and become Kenobi again.
Well, and there's actually a scene in the second episode where she says to him, "You're a Jedi," or something like that. I think it was when they were kind of hiding out in the alley.
Yeah.
And that was in the trailer, but we had no point of context for who this little girl was. So
yeah.
it was like just some little girl saying, "Oh, you're a Jedi," and all the time it was little Leia.
It was Leia, and the Kamel Najiati is
Yeah.
a Jedi, kind of like he's doing parlor tricks, which actually is on point for Kamel. Like
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
but I pointed out that seems like a very dangerous con to say, to boldly say I am a Jedi when they're hunting the Jedi.
Yeah, that's I like that because he's just so cash fallen or
Yeah.
arrogant that he can get away with it that he doesn't even think about that process.
Yeah.
Right? He doesn't even think about it. He's just using. He's actually doing good, but he's kind of swindling people in the process. So he's a
Yeah.
good guy doing bad things, but for good reasons, but getting paid. He's very Han Solo. A couple of little things I want to talk about too. The episode 1 starts with the retrospective of the prequels and giving us the relationship between Anakin and Kenobi.
Right.
And I like that because from my point, I've read a bunch of the comics and a bunch of the books, and so I've watched Clone Wars, and so I've had time with the two of them being together
Right.
and their brotherhood. The Brotherhood book is really good about them understanding that they need each other after Anakin becomes a Jedi Knight. And so that conversation was really nice to have, or at least a reminder of they actually did care for each other. They were master and apprentice, but later on they were master and brother.
Right.
and that's one of the things. And so I'm glad that started there.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess there's potentially people out there that haven't watched the prequels,
And
so give them a
or
little bit of backstory.
they hated the prequel so much that they haven't gone back and actually gave it a chance to understand what they were saying
Right.
and what they were doing.
And if that's you, go back and rewatch them. I
But
know that they have their issues, but they're actually
there's
there's
ton there.
it
There's
yeah,
so much there.
yeah.
There's so much there. And then that segment ends with Yoda telling Obi-Wan that there's some training that you need to do in your exile, and it's Qui-Gon's quote at the end of that's the end of that little montage. So I find it very interesting that they end the montage there, and then in the first episode, Obi-Wan has a really bad dream, wakes up and is in the cave and is asked, "Master, are you there?"
Yeah.
Because one of the teaser stills they gave us was that shot of him in the cave with the blue glowing light off screen.
Yeah.
So again, a little misdirection. I'm
Yeah.
happy with it. I'm totally cool with it, but it's still one of those things where there's a tease there. Something's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, bring on the
Uh,
Qui-Gon Force Ghost.
I'm so here if Liam Neeson shows up. I want it so bad. They have a conversation and a certain point of view, and I'm hoping they do something along that line,
Yeah.
maybe towards the end. A couple little like Easter egg things that we saw. The clone trooper asking for money on Dayu, just kick you in the teeth. Forlom, they don't say it's Forlom. It's at least a Forlom model. That kind of thing. The fifth brother, Sung Chang, Han from the Fast and Furious movie.
Yep.
I love him. I love what he's trying to do. He's definitely an inquisitor, but he is even questioning what Reva is doing and how
Yeah.
she's doing
Yeah.
it. And I love that dynamic because that's not very inquisitor kind of as we know it. Kind of,
Right.
they're vicious and evil, and she's even above that. So it
Yeah.
gives her character even more
Yeah.
to it.
The Order 66.
So the Order 66, Lucasfilm has decided to kick us in the teeth every freaking series at this point in time. It's to go through the montage and then start with Order 66. I'm wondering if there's some connection to Reva in there somewhere. Like I just why you start there and have that scene
Right.
going forward.
Maybe she was one of the Padawans.
Maybe, or because Obi-Wan gave the message of don't come back and she was left by herself, and now because they call her a sewer rat a couple of times.
Right. And he didn't save them, right?
Right,
He
right.
left
Right.
and wasn't there for Order 66, which is how he survived,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
and then we pointed out that somewhere in all of that is Grogu. They didn't show him, but
there's in Book of Boba Fett, there's a scene of Order 66 from a hallway, and there's a Jedi's. I think it's two Jedi's defending younglings in the hallway, and a lot of people have been saying that's Barriss in that hallway doing the defending of the younglings. I don't think that's really true, but her markings are on the door, so it could be a thing. In this episode, in the first episode in the Order 66, it's the same exact shot with the same exact angle from Book of Boba Fett.
right.
And so I find it very interesting. Star Wars is very much tone poems and rhythms and parallels and kind of that thing. So it makes sense to have that kind of parallel, but it felt very odd. It was from the same angle. It was the same kind of visual looking hallway. Now we haven't done a deep dive into the Easter eggs and
Right.
all that stuff. We've watched each episode once,
Right.
but it definitely feels like the same scene.
Yeah,
So
just from pun intended, a different point of view.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely, whether it's the same hallway or not, he's definitely in there somewhere.
Yeah.
This is when that happened.
Most of everything we've gotten from Order 66 until we got Disney Plus was Anakin going into the youngling room to kill all the younglings, and then him and the 501st going into the Jedi Temple, and now we've gotten multiple angles from inside the temple.
Right.
All the Order 66 was on all the other planets, just a couple of shots there, and so I think that's interesting to do that because in this episode, the first episode, they look down. The younglings are running across the bridge, and they look down, and there's single lightsabers defending against all the clones. And each of the lightsabers start to fade out or get extinguished, like the Game of Thrones scene when the rock. Oh, I had it earlier. Dothraki. No, the horse people.
Dothraki.
There we go. My mouth doesn't want to work. When they got extinguished.
Yeah.
Like that same kind of feel of dread that's going on because it's Order 66 and they want to kick us in the teeth again. What's going to happen as we go forward? The only thing we haven't seen in the trailers is the Inquisitor's home base. From the trailers, everything else I think we could pretty much see.
Is the Grand Inquisitor dead?
Is the Grand Inquisitor dead?
Are they gonna put him in a
different
bantha
one? Because that kind of messes with some of the Rebel stuff. And where do we go now? We're not going back to Tatooine. We're not staying on Dayu. Are we going to Alderaan? That seems weird.
Probably, because they got to take Leia back.
They got to take Leia back at some point in time, but we have 4 more episodes. So, and we have the conflict between Anakin and Obi-Wan coming. So,
right.
Well, just where that goes next, I'm not really sure. So, that's what we're gonna say for now, and then we're gonna go to the convention and have everybody tell us how this episode sucked. Not suck. Actually, going to happen here. That's what the Twitter is for. So let us know what you thought of these first 2 episodes of Kenobi in the comments down below. Please be nice. That's a requirement around here. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, and follow us on all the social media stuff: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Links are in the description down below. Like we said, we're doing a bunch of stuff from Star Wars Celebration, including Saturday, the 28th. We're going to do a live stream from the convention floor, just a walk around to see what it's like. So please subscribe to the channel and get the notifications when we go live. About noon Pacific time. So let us know. Until next time, cult members, I need a cocktail. And until next time, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.